Have you seen the movie Escape from L.A.?
A long time ago. I believe I actually went to the premiere of that thing.
Is that right? Because I just saw it like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, out your window.
It's happening right in front of my house.
You're like, you thought HD was high resolution. This is real life resolution.
Forget IMAX. This blows it away in terms of realism and resolution.
As it turns out, there is a higher resolution than IMAX. It's just called real life. Not by much.
Yeah.
Just
it's
a
just
little.
called out the front door right here.
It's called outdoors.
Quiet, please.
Yeah, Blue Planet is not as high resolution as The Planet.
In 4,
As it turns
3,
out.
2.
The Apple Company presents a truly terrible podcast. Welcome to Nonsense Season 3, Episode 1. I'm Jeff Parker.
I'm Shittle.
This is our take on the week's business, tech, and entertainment headlines. This time, we'll look at surprising things about aging.
Now, why would we do that?
What's your birthday?
Son of a bitch.
Yes, we're going to talk about the fires in Los Angeles in a moment, but only where we can add something the regular news mostly isn't covering. And so far, they're doing an excellent job.
So we're now counter-programming to the news? Is that what we are?
First of all, our deepest sympathies to everyone affected by this. But yes, if you live here, you're probably sick of the news. So we're going to try to inject some normalcy into the crazy. But we're going to talk a little bit about the fires as well. We're going to try to contain it into one section as best we can.
Normalcy isn't normally our jam.
No.
We're more like the nerdacy, aren't we?
Sure, nerdacy is more us. That's true.
Isn't that typically like the thing we inject?
It's National Word Nerd Day.
See, you did it. Just there. Right there, you did it.
Grammar geeks and language lovers unite. Revel in the beauty and complexity of language. Whether you're a fan of long, complicated words or simply enjoy a good pun, National Word Nerd Day is for you.
It's impossible for those two to unite. There's no way the grammar geeks and the language lovers could unite because neither of them leave their homes ever.
And they're just nitpicking each other.
Just home on forums, just debating where the apostrophe should go.
If there should be an Oxford comma.
Oh, do not start with the fucking Oxford comma. That is a requirement. That should not be optional.
Happy birthday, CJ.
Please don't get me a cake with candles. We already have enough fucking problems here in Los Angeles. Let's be sensitive.
There's not enough firefighters to come and put out the number of candles that you would have on your cake. Is that it?
I see what you made it worse now. Thank you.
Did you know that you were born on the same day as former President Richard Nixon?
I did, which by the way is the biggest reason why I can't be president, because everyone needs to have their own date.
I had no idea.
Also, I share my birthday with fellow Detroiter and longtime Yellow M&M, J.K. Simmons.
Yellow M&M. Oh, that's right.
He's the Yellow M&M. Yeah.
He
I
is
love
the
him.
Yellow
Law and Order,
M&M.
J.K. Simmons. He's amazing. Fellow Princess Kate Middleton. She also shares my birthday. Good old Dave Matthews. And of course, the legendary Jimmy Page, who turns 80 today.
80. Wow. That's crazy.
Right?
How was your break other than the fire? How's your week going?
Well, okay, yeah. Let's set the fire aside for a second. Break was lovely. I absolutely love and adore my family time until I don't.
Okay.
Which, how close those two are changes year to year. My kids, I'm very excited to report this. My kids have yet to break any bones on their 250-watt electric bikes that Santa may have brought them.
I saw a video. I'm shocked they haven't broken any bones. Those things are cool.
Mrs. Claus is not too pleased with Santa, but here we are. They're actually doing great. I was super excited to get a bunch of stuff done over the break, right? It's a nice time to just get like little loose ends and Tic Tacs all done. And as soon as I started to push that train down the tracks, I got the flu.
Oh, no.
Yeah, influenza A to be specific, because even in viruses, I'm incapable of accepting a B, so I need to get an A in everything.
Excellent.
That's apparently how this works. That's what's happened to me in the past week. How about you?
We have so many friends whose houses have been lost to the fire that our guest room is triple booked. How close is your house to the fire?
Too close. We're about a mile from the evacuation zone, but fortunately the winds are in our favor.
Yeah.
As long as nothing else starts, which is
As long
a big
as the wind
ask.
doesn't change directions,
The wind's not going to change direction. You're not going to see it go into an onshore. I mean, it's Santa Ana conditions.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening. But what I could see happening is an additional fire, because there have been several other fires that have popped up, as you well know, and those are the more scary ones.
Before we, get too deep in this, let's just get to our headline, which is Southern California is on fire.
Yeah, and not like in Fuego, like on the birdcage. Not like the good kind of in Fuego.
No.
The bad kind of in Fuego, like the Dante's Inferno kind of in Fuego.
If you're sick of hearing about the fires in Los Angeles, this is the section for you to skip. We're going to try to keep our conversation to things the regular news mostly hasn't covered for various reasons, mostly because they can't get to everything. Sure. The Palisades fire alone could be the costliest wildfire in U.S. history.
Yeah, so for people that don't know LA geography, you have sort of West LA, and then you've got Santa Monica. A lot of people know Santa Monica. To the south, you've got Venice. Below that, you've got sort of the airport and the rest. People usually know Venice and Santa Monica.
Right.
To the north of Santa Monica, like you have the Pacific Palisades, or you get to Malibu. It's a lovely area. I have a lot of friends that live there or lived there, I guess, previously.
Sure.
Super nice area. It is disconnected.
The whole town is pretty much gone.
It's pretty much gone. I mean, based on the videos that I've seen over the past couple days, everything to like all the way to the water has burnt. When I lived in Santa Monica, I never found good Thai food in Santa Monica. We used to go to Chalada, which is on PCH, right?
Sure.
Basically right in the edge of the Palisades.
Right.
And it's gone. The Real Inn is gone. Like everything there is just burnt to the ground.
The Real Inn has been there since I was a child.
Yeah.
This was a restaurant that everybody, went to for forever.
It is bananas to see. And I have a lot of friends that have lost their homes.
And the other thing is this is really expensive property. Yeah. This is really high value property. So that will contribute to this being the costliest wildfire in U.S. history. Steve Guttenberg, you've seen clips of him, the actor, out helping.
Yeah.
He's been a hero.
I mean, this is just lemonade out of lemons. Do you see there's like some KTLA or KCAL, some local news station, and they're interviewing this guy, and I'm watching the interview and I'm going, man, that looks like Steve Guttenberg. I mean, that looks like, he doesn't even look that old. I mean, it looks like Steve Guttenberg, like a couple extra pounds, but still Steve Guttenberg. And he's talking to him, and this guy, whoever he is extremely animated about do not leave if you leave your car in the middle of the road, leave your keys in it so guys like me can move it out of the way. We're trying to keep traffic moving, and he's got like a paper mask on. I mean, he is there clearing out this community, trying to help the firefighters get in.
But also like super knowledgeable.
And nice. And after like 15 or 20 seconds, the guy, like the young interviewer goes, okay, sir, this is great. What's your name? And he goes, Steve Guttenberg. And he goes, okay. And is everything okay? And like Guttenberg is answering another question. And the guy goes, are you an actor? And I was like, your fucking producer just told you in your ear.
Yeah, sure.
That's fucking Steve Guttenberg, the actor. The poor kid doing the report, he's like, oh, I recognize you. And I was like, no, you don't. Name one film he was in. Name one. Because like a significant portion of my childhood was defined by the Police Academy series.
Sure.
So now I'm just thinking about like high tower jokes.
I go back farther than that. Eddie and Diner.
I never saw Eddie and Diner.
So good.
But I did think about a couple diabetes jokes because he was in Cocoon or the Cocoon sequel with Brimley, with Wilford Brimley. Anyway, great to see Guttenberg out there and see him talking, which I thought was lovely. Then I see, and this is no joke, I think I posted this on Threads. This is on my Threads account. Maybe an hour later, they had an LA Fire Department bulldozer. This is not like something you would get to like, let's say you were redoing your backyard. This is we are cutting down trees and like making a brush line, like a fire break.
A very, very large bulldozer.
And it is literally moving cars off of Palisades Drive because folks just abandoned them there and didn't leave their keys in them.
Well, the police told them to.
Yeah,
the police told them to.
I've read this as well. My hunch is if the police told them, they would have told them to leave their keys.
I'm sure the police did, and then for whatever reason they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You think you're going to burn, you're going to run.
Right.
But now the firefighters cannot get up to the fire. Whoever was driving this bulldozer, I can guarantee you that dude did not wake up that morning thinking he was going to be driving a bulldozer through cars.
Right.
And had it been me, I would have been an idiot. I would have dropped the blade, which probably weighs, 20 tons or some insane amount, and put that thing in drive and just pushed a path through all these cars.
Sure.
This guy was like delicately trying to rearrange them. Every single one he touches is getting totaled, right? There's no delicacy with these giant bulldozers.
The frames get bent, the panels get destroyed.
Yeah, they're unibodies and the panels, and they're completely fucked. They're write-offs. Yeah. By the way, they're probably going to burn to the ground anyway. We didn't know this at the time, but they probably end up are charcoal. But instead of him just plowing through it, which that thing had enough power to do, it was not going to get stuck. My hunch is you would have had battery fires and gas leaking. It would have been worse.
You'd have had Teslas explode.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, yeah, but that'll happen just by looking at them. You don't have to touch them. You don't even get near them. You just wait long enough, and that'll happen.
The LA Fire Department was prepared for 1 or 2 major brush fires, but not 4.
At the time of this recording,
this is crazy.
We have 2 equal size brush fires, roughly 12,000 acres each. The Palisades fire, then you've got the Eaton fire that started several hours later. That one is even more scary from a fuel perspective because you've got the whole front side of the Los Angeles mountains that are it's just all fuel. So you watch cameras from like Mount Wilson and it's just fire and smoke. You got JPL that's in the line of, I know it's been evacuated. I don't think it's burnt. That would be terrible. Got a bunch of friends that work at JPL as well.
Go back to Mount Wilson for 1 second. Because that's where all the broadcasting comes out. Yeah. That's where all the antennas are for all the broadcasting. You think broadcasting will stay up?
I mean, if the fire gets up there, I haven't been up there in years. The last times I've been up there, they do a pretty amazing job keeping the brush around there.
Sure.
Down to a minimum.
There's still a lot of brush around.
Yeah, of course. I mean, of all the things for us to protect, if broadcast goes down.
Well, you need to be able to talk to people in the case of an emergency.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a good point.
Those radio stations are super important.
Radio. I didn't think about that. Like the emergency broadcast system, all of that is going to get hampered. Which begs the question, how does the EBS work on OTT services? I bet it doesn't.
Yeah, no idea.
I never thought about that.
You're going to need it to work.
I mean, EBS barely works on phones. I mean, I believe
oh, that's true. Everybody's phone gets notifications now. That's true.
But the selection process for that, I think, is loosely tied to what towers you've been on recently. Like, they don't have your GPS coordinates, right? There's no like master list.
Oh, is that true?
I am 98% sure of that. My hunch is they say all the towers that may feed this area, we're going to just hit everybody that is on one of those towers.
Smack everybody on that tower. Yeah.
So you might be on the other side if you're an edge case. Fine. One of my neighbors got the evacuation alert, and I was like, no, you need to read it. It's not for us.
Right.
And he's like, well, why did I get it? And I was like, because you're higher up the hill. My hunch is you may have just like gotten a ping from one of those cell sites. And by the way, better that than the other way around.
Right.
But to answer your question more directly, I believe we are safe and will continue to be as long as no new fires pop up near us. We should be okay.
Good. LA Unified School District, the second largest in the U.S., closed more than 200 schools due to fires.
That's bananas. I mean, it seems like most of LA has shut down. And I was wondering what was going to happen with this, because you have a lot of people that are impacted.
Right.
But so Los Angeles, so LA story of me. How do I know if LA is functioning normal or not? I look at the freeways during rush hour.
Yeah.
If Google Maps is green, I know most stuff's shut down. If it's not green, I know most stuff is not shut down. And today it's been predominantly green.
It's like the COVID all over again. Nobody's on the freeway.
It's like COVID all over again.
Landmark closures include Griffith Park, including Lake Hollywood, Runyon Canyon Park, where I hike in the mornings, Los Angeles Zoo. I don't know what they do with the zoo animals when this happens. Do they evacuate the zoo animals?
They go spend some time in Tahiti. They have PTO built up, so they usually just go hop a flight.
How lovely for them.
You're on Air Tahiti Nui, and you're sitting next to a giraffe. You're like,
that would be kind of cool.
He's got like a shitty disguise on. Like, I know you, buddy. I've seen you before. Just shut up and feed me some lettuce.
The Hollywood Reservoir is shut down. The Hollywood Sign area is shut down. The roads through Sepulveda Basin and San Fernando Valley shut down. Pepperdine University canceled in-person classes.
This is all kind of expected. Not only LA, USD schools, but my kids' school, other schools that we have friends at, they're all shut. They're in the evacuation zones or next to them. They're without power. Yeah. So they're all shut down trying to figure this out.
Pacific Palisades fire hydrants went temporarily dry at 3 a.m. local time Wednesday. Water pressure, not simply water. The existence of water was the problem.
I'm glad you pointed that out, because there's a bunch of people running on social media talking about how the reservoirs ran dry.
It's not true. We have plenty of water.
Newsom dumped all the extra water out, like didn't retain. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Do you understand how this works? Like, and that's the problem. Most of these idiots haven't thought to think about water systems for a moment.
Sure.
And if they don't know how they work, they haven't bothered to Google how they work. Like, the shit's readily available.
You have to get water from point A to point B. A lot of times that's pumps. We have an awful lot of power outages.
And if you want water pressure, what makes water pressure? Where do you think water pressure comes from? It's fucking gravity. You've got to get the water to a higher point.
But you have to pump it up to that higher point to get it to...
And when all that shit's on fire, and they're also using, the numbers I had read was somewhere around 4 or 5x the water demand has been basically constantly in use since the fire started in that area.
Yeah.
So they've got to transfer water back to make up for that. And that's been the tough part.
And there's boil water orders in some parts.
Yeah.
I mean, there are serious water issues for people. Their home's not even in danger, but you still have water issues. So you've got to keep an eye out for all those
Once you disrupt the water system like that, you go to boiled water anytime you might have anything that's backfed into the water system, and it's seriously problematic. So the way that works, by the way, is once you lose water pressure, then you can get a backflow situation where it'll pull water back into the water system. As soon as that happens, now you can't trust any of that water. Yeah. I mean, you can use it. You just can't assume that it's pure.
Right.
And that's a big problem. You'll see now a lot of cities have ordinances that require backflow prevention devices, which are basically anti-siphon devices that you have to have so that it doesn't happen. And people don't get it. People don't put them in. They're like, I don't need that. And I'm like, yeah, you fucking do. Trust me, you really do. But, physics, how does that work? That's the problem. I mean, people don't understand physics.
Sure.
Yeah, and then you got Caruso running around saying that this is mismanagement. And okay, you might be right, but be more specific. What's being mismanaged exactly?
What is being mismanaged? I'm not seeing that.
Like, explain to me where the mismanagement is, because I think you're just grumpy and you just want to be pissed. Is really what's happening.
Backtrack, because there's so many things on this thing I don't understand. What do you think caused these fires? No, everybody's talking about where the fires are. What do you think makes these fires start? Now, it's all conjecture, of course.
Sure,
but mostly when you have huge winds, and the winds are crazy, 60 to 70 miles an hour winds on the mountaintops, we're getting gusts of winds over 100 miles an hour.
There's a couple things. We're in a red flag warning, which means you've got extremely high winds and very, very, very low humidity. That is a really bad combination, right? Because now once a fire starts, it will spread and fan very quickly. So red flag doesn't mean fire. Red flag means if there's a fire,
it's going to be bad. Yeah.
When you have high winds, especially where you've got power lines above ground and you have any sort of vegetation, trees, palm trees, whatever.
You blow the vegetation into the power lines.
I mean, you don't even really need vegetation. The wind alone can be enough. And they've since the Woolsey fire, I noticed that they have, I think it was mainly LADWP. There's a whole line of power that runs on the ridgeline that's the Santa Monica Mountains on Mulholland. And I watched them replace every one of those poles from like an old school wooden pole to a super tall, super stout steel pole. They've been doing this for the past several years.
Sure.
I'm assuming that was primarily a fire prevention mechanism so that those poles don't snap. And then once you've got power lines that spark, now you've got fire. And at the red flag, now you've got bad fire. So my hunch is most of these came from sparks from power lines. I hope that's where most of them came from.
These are the most destructive winds we've had since 2011 when Pasadena got hit so hard.
Oh, man. Yeah, I remember that. That was nuts.
The wind blew so hard that LAX reversed traffic. Explain to us exactly what that means when they take off and land in the opposite direction.
So if you've ever flown into LAX, first of all, I'm sorry. Second, the typical flight pattern is you fly in from the east and you land pointing to the west. When you take off over the ocean. The reason for that is typically the wind is blowing in from the ocean, inland a little bit.
You want the wind blowing at you as you take off.
Yeah, you always want the wind blowing at you while you're taking off and even while you're landing. It's arguably more important when you land, but it's really important for both. The reason it's more important for you to land is it's easier to abort a takeoff than just to abort a landing.
Sure.
So the problem is if the wind's at your back, it's a lot harder to make lift. If the wind's at your front, it's much easier to make lift. So every now and again, and this happens usually a couple times a year, when the wind blows from inland to the sea, LAX will flip the traffic pattern. And it's always kind of cool when you see this happen because these poor air traffic controllers now have to reroute all these planes that are coming on final approach all the way around.
They're expecting to come in the other way.
They're coming from the east and they got to route them around to the west. And then it makes takeoff a pain in the ass. Like it just makes everything harder. That happens now and again. Burbank also, so Burbank has 2 runways. They typically will land from the west while you're traveling east. So Burbank typically lands when you're coming in eastwardly. So they land from the west. But they've also changed their pattern the past couple of days and they land from the south, which means their final approach goes right over my house. So I see planes at like 3,000 feet that are coming in, which is always kind of interesting. This, of course, makes everything even harder for the folks that are fighting fires because now you've got air traffic that is commercial air traffic that they've got to navigate around while they're trying to drop water.
Well, they're not allowing any commercial air traffic over the fire zones.
Oh, yeah.
They've totally stopped all of that.
It is insane how much firefighting apparatus they have up in the air between these like long range spotter planes that are doing surveillance. They've got helicopters that are dropping water. They've got those Colossus double Huey helicopters dropping water.
And for a while, they were all grounded. They were grounding everything because of the wind. We had such horrible wind.
The wind was so bad.
By the way, finish the airport story. They were not landing at Burbank in Ontario. They were rerouting to LAX,
At one point, the night before last, when the wind was really bad overnight, they could not land at Burbank or Ontario. And I was watching planes, because this is what I do when I'm laying in bed and I can't sleep. I was watching planes that were coming into Ontario. They'd circle Ontario once or twice, and then they'd beeline to LAX. And you could actually see where ATC had to insert them into the lineup to land at LAX. Those guys are probably priority. They probably don't have a ton of extra fuel.
Sure.
So they would pull planes. I could see planes that were coming in to land at LAX that were on final approach, and they'd pull them out of the lineup so they could slot another plane in and make those guys go around.
If you got the fuel to make a circle.
Exactly. So pretty nuts. It was also interesting, day before yesterday, I saw, I think it was like a Delta commuter plane that was getting moved from LAX to Burbank. That is not a flight segment you normally see. You don't normally see planes take off from LAX to go land.
It's like a 1-minute flight.
It's typically more of an Uber than it is an airplane flight. But it's pretty nuts. And then yesterday they brought in, so Air Attack called in, I think 4 large tankers and 1 very large tanker. What that means is we had an MD-87. So if you're a plane dork like me, that's an older McDonnell Douglas aircraft that was mainly used for commercial flight. That thing holds like over 3,000 gallons of retardant. And they have been doing drops with that on the fire as of yesterday. Yeah. That thing's nuts because I see that come over my house at 1,000 feet off the deck, and that is bananas to see a plane that big doing that. And then they brought in a bunch of C-130s. It's really amazing. I mean, the destruction is terrible, but seeing all this aircraft apparatus. And the fact that they can do it with no, like, I shouldn't say no, I mean, there's real risk. These guys do crash now and again.
Sure.
But it is incredible how orchestrated this all is.
Especially the topography. I mean, you're not talking about dropping on flat lands.
Nope.
There's a lot of elevation.
So I think I've mentioned this before on the show. The way I track how close the fire is to me, or really to know where the fire is I look at the flight paths, because you can tell, like, I know what a water drop helicopter looks like. I can follow its flight path and I can go see where it's dropping its water. That's where the fire is. Like, you don't need to do much math beyond that to figure out that's where it's dropping the water. So a little harder on the big tankers, because those things have turning radiuses that are not quite as small as the helicopters, but you can still kind of figure out where they're dropping. You know, if you watch you can watch their vertical speed, and it'll usually go down slowly, and then up super fast.
That's the drop.
Oh, that's where they did the drop. Like, you can figure out where they dropped it.
That's real-time information, as opposed to most of the fire maps that we get, where we get information that's 3 or 4 hours
super
late.
Old. I've also started looking at, you can get, this is not as real-time, I don't think, but you can get satellite information that I think is mainly FLIR-based, that tells you where they've seen hotspots.
FLIR photography senses heat.
Forward-looking infrared, I think is what that stands for.
Yeah.
That is amazing, because now you're like, oh, this is where the fire has been, and you can just see all of the heat. It's not the one, at least that I'm using, is not extremely granular, but it at least gives you a good sense of the areas, the zones the fire has been in, and it's pretty nuts.
The plume of smoke from the Palisades fire stretched for more than 100 miles into the Pacific Ocean on satellite imagery.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, I try to find the lemonade and the lemons, and definitely some of the lemonade here is that because it's a wind that's blowing out to the sea, that means the fire is not blowing inland to more homes, right? It's blowing out to the sea, and also all that smoke and all that shit that nobody wants to breathe is blowing out to the sea, and not
where it can dissipate
over 20 million people in Southern California. Yeah. Now the Eden fire, that's the Palisades fire. The Eden fire, which is out in Pasadena land, that stuff is hovering and is blown around. I've had a couple friends that have evacuated, not because they're near the fire, because they just can't breathe, and the smoke is so bad that they're getting out of Dodge.
We've had orange light all morning, which is what the sunlight looks like when it's filtered through the smoke.
Again, if you set aside all the destruction that's happened, it's kind of amazing. It's kind of beautiful to see. Like this morning, I had what felt like sunrise light for 3 hours. Yeah, because it just happened to be going through the cloud as it went over my house.
Sure.
Which was pretty interesting.
On another topic, speculate for me, the Rockwell OV-10Bs. Why are they in the air?
Oh, that's an interesting plane. That's one I didn't know about until this week. That is like this 1960s super lightweight. It's like the Colin Chapman of airplanes, and it's designed for long-tail surveillance.
It just parks in the air. It just is able to loiter.
Yeah, it just loiters in the air.
Why are they there? Just for observation?
They're probably, I'm completely speculating here. Somebody with actual knowledge should email us and let us know if this is true or not. But I believe they're probably doing one of 2 or 3 things. One is fire spotting, right? So they're telling the ground crews where the fire is and what to do. 2 is they could be doing surveillance for the tanker drops. They usually have separate aircraft that do that. Yeah. And then they sort of fly the route, so they know what the air is like, because obviously you've got all these updrafts and stuff. So they'll fly ahead of the tanker to know what the air is like. And then the tankers will come in and do one dry run on that, and then if they like it and they're okay with it, then they'll go through and do the drop. So they'll do that. The other they could be doing is air traffic control.
Yeah.
My understanding in these situations is they go all to local air traffic control, meaning there is an entity, I believe, in the air that is responsible for coordinating all the air traffic control in that area. That whole airspace becomes controlled by a separate group of people, if you will. Mm-hmm. And I think they have eyes in the air that help manage that. It's really amazing what happens behind the scenes to make this all work.
LA City 911 wait time was averaging 71 minutes.
Yeah, I think that was the high point at one point. That was yesterday, the day before yesterday. You had so many issues happening all over, not necessarily related to the same fires, but power lines sparking. People were calling and trying to get stuff to happen. And I saw a lot of grumpiness. Again, people, I think, just not maybe thinking as much as they should on social media, saying like, oh, these power lines are sparking. I called the fire department and they said to call, when it catches fire. And the guy's like pissed about that. I'm like, what are they supposed to do?
Right.
They're the fucking fire department. This is what they do. And
they can't be everywhere.
He calls LADWP.
So much personnel.
Like LADWP dispatches answering, and he's like, turn the power off. And they're like, we can't. And it's like, there's not some fucking cabal conspiracy that wants to watch your house in Encino burn.
Right.
They can't just turn off power like that. This isn't how this works.
Well, they talk about all the time. They talk about shutting off power on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
We had 400,000 consumers without power that may or may not have been on purpose. Yep. And they're talking about another 400,000 customers, cutting it to another 400,000
So they've started doing
customers.
this in especially high wind areas where they know they've got transmission lines where this could happen. I think it's brilliant.
Again, it's probably a lot safer than keeping that power live.
Oh, yeah. But it's this balance, right? I mean, you can't turn off everything. everything. And some of these areas, like this one video that I saw, this guy was bitching about power lines. I'm not certain where he is, but I think I know where he is. And he's pretty close to a hospital. So I'm also not sure they can just turn off your fucking power because you have a hospital that's like 4 blocks away.
Right.
So there's more that goes into it than just I see sparks, turn everything off. I think most people don't think this through. They don't think through what else is happening. And then they immediately go to, oh, this is by design. This is not everyone, but some people go to, this is like someone wants this to happen. I'm like, okay.
Nobody wants their power turned off, and that's not a popular choice to make.
Of course.
But if your power can be turned off and it can save your neighborhood, that's a great thing.
Yeah. I mean, amazingly, up to this recording, granted I haven't been home in a little while, but up until this recording, I've had no power drops in them. I've had some brownouts. I probably lost some equipment, but you know, what's better than new equipment?
Sure. Who doesn't love new equipment?
I'll do the same dance I always do. I'll write a strongly worded letter to the DWP and they will strongly ignore me and I'll pay for it myself.
Fantastic.
That's how this will work.
Firemen came in from basically all over the world as they do. The firemen are just absolute heroes.
Yeah.
We had a couple of reports of looters, and the big takeaway for next year will be it will be impossible to get fire insurance.
Yeah.
Okay, enough with the headlines. Up next, we're going to talk about something near and dear to CJ's slowly fading heart: aging.
Oh boy. So we're going to go from fire and destruction to just time and destruction is really what,
time and destruction. Yes, that'll be it. That'll be good.
Perfect. We should really do more pre-production meetings. Hello.
CJ, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Since it's your birthday, I thought we might look at some surprising things about aging.
No, thank you.
Some of these will come as a shock. Some of them will come less as a shock.
I doubt any of this is going to come as a shock. I just know it's just a bobsled ride to the bottom.
It is fascinating how our bodies and minds change as we age.
Yes, that is a very interesting way to say deplete.
Fascinating and terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, the best part about it, though, is it's all just inevitable. Like, there are very few things.
Nothing you can do.
Exactly. This is just time ticking forward.
You get no say.
It doesn't matter how much Tupperware I sleep in or how much formaldehyde I drink. It's just going to continue to happen.
You and I have not gone out for a good glass of formaldehyde.
No, we
many
have
years.
not. We really haven't. It's been a hot minute. We should do that again.
Let me give a quick tip of the hat to WebMD, which inspired all of this stuff. The folks at WebMD.
That's impressive. Even the web archive, even the Internet Archive is like, oh yeah, no, we don't scrape that. It's too old. We don't go to WebMD. No. Mm-mm. By the way, here's what I understand.
Yeah.
WebMD obviously is a staple. I make fun of it. How come there's no web DDS? You would have thought there would have been a web DDS, but there's just
How
not.
would that work?
You just go there and you ask it questions.
What are my symptoms? My symptom is my tooth hurt. All right, great. Go see a dentist. It seems like the flow chart's pretty simple on that one.
Just the FAQ is just 2 questions. That's it. It's the easiest.
Go to dentist.
All right, hold on. I'm buying webdds.com. Give me a second.
So as you age, as it turns out, and this part will surprise you. I'm sure you didn't know this. As you age, you get physical changes.
Of course.
Things change.
Handsomer,
You get
more attractive, thinner,
You do get
more svelte.
Actually, I have seen people who have gotten quite a bit handsomer in their senior
I have
years.
Also seen George Clooney. You and I are not those people.
But that's no one. The number of people that happens to is just minuscule.
Yeah, you and I are aging like fruit. Not even like long-term shelf fruit, like fruit that they're like, this is going to be bad by the time you get home. Like
a little bit like Applehead dolls. You ever seen an Applehead doll?
No, what the fuck is an Applehead doll?
Man. I'll put a link in the show notes.
I mean, I have been called many things in life, sir, but no one has ever called me an Applehead doll.
You get shorter. We're going to get shorter.
Yeah.
I think I might already be getting shorter. I don't know. I can't really tell. Spinal compression and changes in posture. Changes in posture seems like you could do something about that.
Sure.
But spinal compression, you can't do anything about that. You're getting shorter.
Well, you can do spinal expansion.
Ouch. Like on a rack?
Spine
How do you do that?
dash XFVZ space. I tried to put a tar joke in there, but it was hard.
I'm not doing that.
You know, tar? What do you use? 7-Zip?
I do use 7-Zip.
I love 7-Zip.
You still use tar?
I have to use tar all the time.
Oh, no, that's awful. Why do you have to use tar all the time?
Because I'm on machines that I don't manage and I don't want to install a bunch of random shit on. So I use tar and G-Zip.
No. Everything's 7-Zip with a strong password.
What's wrong with tar and G-Zip?
No.
G-Zip?
You have nothing.
Wait, hold on. Is 7-Zip even open source?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
100%.
FOSS?
100%.
7-Zip is full FOSS.
Look it up right now.
I mean, I believe you.
Folks, if you are compressing if you're zipping your files, 7Z is the way to do it.
Well, okay, look, most of 7-Zip's code is under the GNU LGPL license, but some parts are under the BSD3 clause license. So really...
all open source. Okay, let's get back to aging.
Yeah.
Your feet are going to get bigger. You're going to get clown feet, CJ.
What do you mean clowner feet, I think is what you're looking for.
Just to add insult to injury, you're going to get shorter and your feet are going to get bigger. But the nice thing is it's harder to tip you over.
I mean, it's got to go somewhere. Well, first of all, Weebles wobble, they don't fall over is last time I checked.
That's what I've heard.
I'm pretty sure it's just like a whoa, and then I just come back. I think is how that works.
It's that clown that you punch.
Totally. I mean, I am literally the clown that people punch, so it is fitting. It does seem like that was a lot of foreshadowing in my youth.
I had big feet growing up. I always had big feet, and I was on the swim team, and I was pretty good, and I really thought quite highly of myself.
Sure. Yep.
I thought, boy, I'm really good at this. It had nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
It literally just had to do with the genetics that I had I had flippers.
Totally. Yeah. You know what? Shaq tells the same story about basketball. He's like, I just think I'm really fucking good. They're like, you're 7'2" and you're 14.
You're just the luckiest human on the face of the earth.
You're just a giant.
For basketball. Yeah.
All right. Good job, Bigfoot.
Your taste bud sensitivity will decrease.
That I'm not down for.
Sensitivity for sweet and salty flavors will diminish.
You want me to get shorter and fatter feet? Fine. I need my tongue to still work because I have nothing else. I just have that and barbecue.
That can affect your diet and health because at this age, you can pretty much eat all the salt you want unless you actually have a specific disorder.
Okay.
And you'll just pee it out. If you have more salt than your body needs, you just pee it out. Okay. When you get older, that stops happening.
What happens? Is your body just turned into a hoarder and it's just like, I need as much salt as I can get? Has salt reserves?
Once you get older, you can definitely have too much salt.
Okay.
And it's a real problem for elderly people who eat too much salt.
Okay. Well, hold on. I need a little clarification.
Yeah.
For the sake of this conversation,
yes.
Are the hosts of this show in the elderly category or in some other category?
Other. We're still other.
We're other. Okay. We're elderly adjacent. Is that what we're knocking around?
I think our parents are reaching the elderly stage.
I mean, there are literal groups, like loyalty groups set up for people that are our age. I just want to be clear that there are folks that have gotten together and said, we have so little in common other than age that we now want to have a group with an association and lobbying power. That's all. I just wanted to point that out.
Your hair can change texture. It can become finer or coarser, not necessarily just finer. And it, of course, is going to change color. You'll probably go gray, or at some point you may even go white.
Sure.
Or it just may all fall out.
It may just go away. Yeah, that's also an option.
But the nice thing is you will gain hair in both your nose and
places.
ears.
It's a migration, really. Yeah. They're like Canadian geese. They just start going south, not just for the winter, but for all the time.
Sure. Older women might start to notice hairs on their chins.
Oh, that's
This is all change, all because of change in hormones.
How does that work? How are they just like chin? Here we go. Like,
I don't know, but it does.
Okay, so my hair's going to change.
Your skin's going to get thinner.
How does that work? What do you mean thinner?
You actually get more susceptible to bruising and tearing. Your skin, as you age, gets thinner.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I don't want my skin to get thinner.
Well, I wish I could stop that for you.
Okay.
I can't.
Okay.
My dad, he takes blood thinner medications. You look at him wrong, he bruises.
Is now a bad time to remind you that typically on people's, the day of their birth, you give them gifts that they want? Is that, should I not be bringing that up now? Should I brought that up earlier in the show? Let's
all right, a couple more and then we'll get to some good gifts. Your bones become less dense.
Okay, well, that's good because my head is mainly bone. So if it's less dense, that seems good.
Your head seems pretty dense. This increases the risk of fractures.
Increases the risk of fractures. That's bad.
Increases the risk of fractures.
Okay, that's bad. Okay.
Again, you're pretty much, when you're in your 20s, you're pretty much invincible. You can pretty much jump off of a moving, a flying airplane and survive. That's not the case.
I do find myself occasionally at night thinking about the number of free lives I used up in my 20s. And
right.
The answer is probably somewhere around 5 or 6, where I definitely was like, oh, should have died there. Nope. Should have died there. Nope.
I would fall snow skiing in the most crazy, radical ways. I would go end over end down and at high speeds.
Yes.
It never occurred to me I was going to break a bone.
Yes. And meanwhile, now, if my wife's not home and I'm taking a shower, I set a timer to call my brother in 6 minutes. So if he doesn't hear from me, it's like, I'm dead on the fucking floor. I slipped in the shower, broke a hip, concussed.
If I fell I fell on the ski slopes when I was in my 20s, I would be sand. I would have no bones.
You'd be a garage sale of human parts just spread all over the slope. They'd name a slope after you, though. It'd be the Parker Run. It'd be great.
If you don't get down the Parker Run, you saw what happened to him.
You're like, isn't that just a blue? They're like, oh yeah, he was really old. Like a light blue.
Your voice may change. Your vocal cords can lose elasticity, leading to higher or lower pitch and weaker voice.
Okay, I feel like age really needs to pick. Like, is my hair getting finer or coarser? Is my voice getting higher or lower? Just pick. Give me a trajectory.
It's just changing, and it's just getting different.
It's just different. That's it. It's all of life.
That's all.
Different.
That's all you get. That's the other thing about old age. You don't really get to know.
No, you don't get to
happen.
know. It's a surprise.
There's no like.
And it might
there's
change.
no like.
Yeah. Some days you can't be. Some days you can't stop being.
It's right. It's super non-committal as to what your ailments might be.
Non-committal. Yes. Yes. Age is a very hedonistic bitch, is what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Understood.
Your eyesight gets worse.
Yeah. Oh boy, this one I know.
Yeah.
I hit 40, and the day after, I was reaching around the room like I was Stevie Wonder. I was like, who's talking? Where are you? Who's making that sound? I mean, I don't know if I was 40, 41, but sometime in my early 40s, my eyesight went from like stable my entire life to I can't see anything within 5 feet of my face.
Oh, sure. For me, it was 47. Literally 47. I could read anything on the smallest type, whatever. 47 and a half. My arms were suddenly not long enough.
I mean, I remember like looking at people not much older than me being like, wow, you've got your font really big on your phone. Now I'm the guy at restaurants who's like, I really don't want to turn on my phone to light this up. How am I going to know what I order? So I just like every restaurant's a Denny's to me. I just point to shit on the menu. I'm like, I'll have that. Like, sir, you want the oxtail? Like,
without hesitation, I light my phone up so I can see what's on the menu.
We were literally at dinner last week, and I was unwilling at Mozza. We were literally at Mozza. I was unwilling to turn on my fucking flashlight.
Can't see in Mozza to save my life. I have to turn on my phone.
Nope. This place has a star. I'm not turning on my fucking flashlight. So I did what any regular human would do. I took pictures of the menu in low light, which my iPhone 16 Pro from Apple does just fine. And as I'm scrolling through them, my friend's laughing at me that I'm doing this. I accidentally scrolled back one picture too far before the menu picture. And what was it?
Porn.
A picture of a fucking medicine bottle that I also couldn't read at home. I just started laughing, and I showed them my reel. I'm like, my reel is 1/3 things I can't read that I have to zoom in on. But like imagine how much harder that would have been in the land before. I mean, also
before phones, sure.
Mozart, for fuck's sake, like why are you using a 6-point Calibre font? Like bump it up a little bit so I can see what's going on here.
I use small fonts on my phone, and it does take me a little longer to read, but I use small fonts because I don't want everybody to read. I don't want cue cards so that everybody in the world can read my phone.
Yeah. It's like those kids that have the little, like the text message tones that are high pitched so nobody over 30 can hear them on their phone. It's like that.
I don't know about those.
You don't know about this?
No, I've never heard that in my life.
Oh, no. As you get older, just naturally, the upper bound of your hearing.
No, I know that part I've heard. That part I know.
So these kids.
But I didn't know kids did that for the text tones.
They'll put like an alert tone on their phone that's super high pitched that only they can hear.
Oh, that's
you know this? It's like this whole like inside. And the other version. Why don't they just
set it to vibrate?
Well, what's the fun in that?
I don't know.
The other version of this story that I love is so like 7-Elevens or some shit figured this out a while ago, and to keep kids from loitering in front, they would just play these high pitched tones where like any regular
because it would irritate them.
Because it would irritate them. Yeah.
I wondered why there's music out in front of our 7-Eleven.
A lot of them to keep them from loitering. Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Pay attention to what it is. It's probably something that's not very popular.
Okay. It's never songs that I've heard before, but that in my neighborhood, that's normal.
Yeah, it's of course.
There's always,
unless you're at the Belmont Village, any neighborhood you go to, it's not going to be. You're not going to notice any.
I find generally on like when I'm watching Name That Tune, I don't know most of the tunes from the 90s on.
Wait, is there a current version of Name That Tune?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, it's good. It's great.
Oh my God! I said for years if they remade that show, I would do really well on it.
Oh no,
I didn't know they remade that show. Oh really?
It's so good. Yeah, Randy Jackson is the musical director, and Jane Krakowski is the host. Oh, it's great.
This is what I've got to go see now.
By the way, this is the next symptom of being older. You reminisce about old television shows that weren't that good, as if they were the greatest things to have ever been put to TV.
Man, that Alan Funt sure was funny. Was he? Was he really?
Was he really?
I don't know. Man, when you just put Ryan Stiles and Wayne Brady together, they are just full of laughs.
Nothing funny.
Oh, that show was pretty funny.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Actually, Alan Funt was kind of funny too.
In his moments.
But kids back then, kids said the darndest things. Okay, there's good sides too. There's more good now that happens. I gave you some of the bad ones up front just because, why not?
Sure.
Migraines. Once you hit your 70s.
That sounds bad.
Those migraines.
Migraines sound bad. Why would that be a positive?
Once you listen to me tell the story. Once you hit your 70s, the migraines you may have had much of your life go away. Only 10%. Only 10% of women and 5% of men over 70 still report migraines, which doesn't sound like much, but in your 50s, It's something like 25% of women have migraines. It's a much bigger number.
Okay.
Even better news, if you do have a migraine, it may not actually come with the headache.
What is it if it's not a headache?
As people age, some experience migraines as visual or sensory disturbances without pain.
Oh.
Isn't that cool?
Well, that's just psilocybin. Just take some extra magic mushrooms and you'll be fine. Sounds great to me. Yeah. I am really hoping that by the time I get to Belmont Village age, there's like after dinner, like condiment mint table that's all just drugs. Just like whatever, honey, what do you want? You want to do the magic mushrooms today? And just
because you don't have to get up in the morning, so whatever.
Fuck no, I got nothing to do. What am I doing? Let's go. Come on.
The best part of that is that you will always, you specifically, not people generally, you will always have a million things to do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because that's how your brain works.
But I am very much looking forward to the 75-year-old version of me in Belmont Village, taking a bunch of mushrooms and playing Darude Sandstorm way too fucking loud for everyone else. I'm just going to be that guy. Yeah, it's like with my glow sticks.
There's a good chance you'll become the morning person you've always wanted to be in your 60s or late 60s, because our sleeping patterns can shift as we age, so we get sleepier earlier and wake up earlier.
Okay.
That seems to work out well. One study showed that even though folks over 65 tend to wake up during the night, most said they regularly get a good night's sleep.
Oh, is that just like a reduction back to circadian rhythm? Is that really where that comes from? Like you just fight it your whole life, and then when you're older, you're like, no, I'm going to be up when the sun's up.
I do know that my brain kicks in at about 4:30 in the morning.
Okay.
No matter what time I went to bed. If I went to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning,
wakes up.
4:30 in the morning comes, and I'm awake. I've got things I wanted to get going, get doing.
I, for years, have been telling people, not for this reason, for other reasons, that you have the brain of a rooster. So clearly I was half right.
Like, I do.
It's when they call you a bird brain. I go, well, technically it's a rooster, but same.
But I think eventually you cave in on the other side and you just go, you know what? I'm tired. I'm going to bed.
Yeah,
I like hanging out with you. I love doing the things we do. But you know what's really nice? I would like to be asleep right now.
Yeah, but most people don't do it mid-conversation, Jeffrey. That's the problem. Me and you're having dinner at Mozza, and I'm like, we're in the second course, and you're like, I'm going to go to bed now. And I'm like, what the fuck? The check's not even here yet.
Here's another good thing as you age.
Yeah.
Older women may have sex less often than when they were younger, but apparently they make it count. One study of women 40 and over, researchers found that sexual satisfaction improved with age. Women over 80 were more likely than those between 55 and 79 to say they were satisfied during sex.
Well, that's fascinating.
So now you can feel like you're satisfying your woman.
Well, I can't.
Finally.
But the hypothetical person could. I'll still be cowering in the corner. Like, turn the washing machine on spin. Sit down.
Who had washing machine on spin on their bingo card for episode 1 of this season?
I'm going to go on a limb and say a non-zero number of people, I think, that know me well enough would have been like, whatever our bingo cards are that we should still make for this show.
Okay, mental and emotional changes.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Yes.
Happiness can increase.
I like that.
Studies suggest that happiness levels often rise in older age, particularly in the 70s and 80s.
In in the 1970s and 1980s?
Those were the years right there. If you didn't live in those years, you're not going to be happy. No, your 70s and 80s, your age.
Oh, in your age.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, I've always surrounded myself with older friends. They've always have a tendency to be happier. So, yeah, that makes sense. I can buy that.
Now, is that true, or you're just less aware of everything going on around you?
Oh, I don't pay attention to them.
You just seem happier. You're just sitting in the corner giggling like an idiot.
I mean, at some point, I really want to believe, I truly want to believe that all people get to the state where they realize that there is an end and they go, man, what else do you have? Like, let's be happy.
Hopefully you figure that around 40.
Hopefully you figure it out earlier than that, but as early as possible.
The sooner the better, yeah.
But there are a lot of people, certainly, later than 40. And I think some people, unfortunately, that go all the way to the end that never figure that out. And they're chasing whatever the thing is. That's just sadness.
That's actually depressing.
Yeah, depressing for them, not for me. Fuck.
No, I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm going to go cry now.
Let's all go have a good sob, and then I'll go back to being happy. We'll be fine.
Excellent. Problem-solving skills may improve.
Okay.
Older adults often have more life experience to draw upon, aiding in conflict resolution.
Yes, of course. I mean, my favorite quote, good judgment comes from experience. Experience comes from bad judgment. Old people have made a lot of bad decisions.
And so they've learned a lot.
Yeah.
Your brain doesn't necessarily decline.
Okay.
I didn't know this was the case. While some cognitive changes are normal, the brain can retain plasticity and continue to learn and grow. Now, that doesn't happen in all elderly people, but it does happen in a good percentage.
Yes, the plasticity in my brain has been slowly replaced by concreticity.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
It's like a slow-moving fog from one side to the other.
It was bound to happen eventually.
Yeah.
In older age, you may become more agreeable.
Oh, okay. I'll believe you.
Research indicates that personality traits can shift with age, with increased agreeableness being common.
Okay.
Turns out you might not be that grumpy old man you thought you were going to be.
Have you ever gone on Facebook?
No, I don't do that.
I mean, have you ever seen
Isn't it mostly younger people on Facebook who are really grousing and causing, also in bots?
No.
Because Facebook wants engagement, and so I think there's a lot of it's bots.
I mean,
I don't go on Facebook. What do I know?
Have you ever been to a Subway restaurant?
Sure.
Subway chain? Have you ever been to a Carl's Jr. when Karen strolls in there bitching about her curly fries? I would not call her more agreeable.
But she's not elderly.
Okay, Marge.
Karen's in her 30s.
No, this Karen was old as shit. She was definitely, I wasn't at the Carl's Jr. theoretically. A friend of mine was there. I wasn't. I don't get the Star Burger, the Quarter Pounder.
Again, I go to Carl's Jr. about as often as I go to Facebook, which is pretty much never.
Okay, from now on, whenever you go to Facebook, you have to go to Carl's Jr. and vice versa.
Wow.
Those two are forever coupled. I like to believe that people as they get older become more agreeable. This might be back to the earlier point. They may just be like, what the fuck is the point of disagreeing with you? We're all going to die soon. I might as well just be happy. Maybe that's where that comes from.
That's such a depressing way to look at that.
Oh, the philosophical rabbit hole with me is very black and white and dark.
You're very dark right now.
Oh, yeah. It is. Well, you get 40 more trips around the sun if you're lucky. All right. Enjoy it. Or be miserable the entire time. You choose. I don't care. I'm not going to tell you what to do.
As you progress to your 40s and beyond, you become more in tune with other people's emotions.
Yeah.
And that insight into how others think and feel can make living with your loved ones easier and help you get along better with your coworkers.
Yeah. Understanding people and what they're going through and trying to be, I don't know, what's the word, empathetic?
You gain empathy as you age.
Incredible. I would really hope more people would either gain more empathy or just fucking age a lot faster. You ever been on X?
Age out a little faster?
Okay, you said it. Either way, I don't care.
I don't go on X anymore either.
I'm just saying, every now and again, I'm just like, oh, you really need empathy or you just need to get older faster, really older faster.
Again, a lot of that just might be bots. I think people, as they age, tend to get more empathetic. You don't think so?
Overall, in mass, I don't think it's a linear. I think you got a pretty big bump in there somewhere. There's a whole bunch of people that are spooled up. If they're not, how do I say this? If they're not marketed to, yeah, I think generally speaking, folks would become more agreeable. But if they're marketed to about a specific set of things that they're angry about.
Oh, well, that's true. There certainly are things where you can tease out the anger from.
Not tease out, I think is a bit of a cop out. I think it's more of a plant the seed and then water it. And then they tease it out.
Oh, yeah. There's an entire industry of stoking anger in people who previously didn't really have any anger.
Totally.
That can be quite a profitable business model.
Of course.
Another thing about as you age, your cells can stop dividing.
They stop dividing?
Yeah.
Do they still do addition and subtraction or just dividing?
Just dividing is the only one they have trouble with.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess, is it just the long division? Whole number division they can still do?
Your immune system weakens.
The third punch is the one that did it.
Now I'm done.
The third punch, you're like, well, this truck is moving forward.
It's occurred to me that I'm getting older, and so let's just move on.
Yeah, so your immune system weakens. The immune system weakening is the one that kind of scares me the most because I used to be like
bulletproof,
iron chainmail. Yeah,
of course.
And now, over the break, I was at a fucking Lego Discovery Center, and a kid across the room half coughed, and I was like, "What was that? Cover him in sanitizer."
And whatever he had, you got.
Yeah, I did. Sadly, that's where I got it from.
Aging is influenced by genetics and lifestyle. Factors like diet, exercise, and stress play significant roles. Your body becomes less efficient at regulating temperature as you age.
Wait, so you're saying diet, exercise, and stress are the big ones that have significant roles?
They're huge ones, sure.
All right, well, 1 for 3 is not bad.
Of the things you can control, genetics obviously you can't control.
Sure. Well, you can, but you just need a time machine. I saw Back to the Future.
I have different parents make me? How does that work?
Well, it's a different version of you. Split timeline, something.
You're increasing your sensitivity to heat and cold.
Okay. You can simulate that by moving to Florida or Minnesota.
And maybe that's why there are a lot of snowbirds. A lot of people do move to Florida as they get older. They just don't want to be in the cold anymore.
I do find it amusing when people refer to Florida as Michigan's Lower Peninsula.
I've never heard that before.
Or Lower Peninsula. I forget what the fuck they call it. Because there's an Upper Peninsula and a Lower Peninsula in Michigan. They call it the Lower Peninsula. Because everybody in Michigan, the people that I know that still live in that state, their end game, their life goal is to move to Florida.
Oh, to get to Florida. Sure.
Yeah.
So many people on the East Coast, that's the case.
It's like they just walk as far to the southeast as you can.
Yeah.
Then stop, then wait for death.
Okay.
That's basically their plan. It's their end game.
If you're retired, why not? Why would you want to, struggle around in winters?
No. I'm not saying you should struggle in winter. I'm just saying don't go to fucking Florida. Are you kidding?
Well, you want to come to California or San Diego?
Sure. Any West Coast state.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not have to be all like elitist.
I think people do what they know. It's a shorter vacation to go to Florida. They get to know Florida, and so Florida is where they think when they retire.
Oof, all right.
Recovery from illness or injury may take longer due to changes in cell regeneration and overall body function.
I mean, I've definitely experienced this to be true too. Just healing and getting through stuff takes longer. And then what's nuts is when you've got a little kid and they do anything, a scrape, a cut, whatever, in like 36 hours, that shit is healed.
Oh, it's remarkable.
It's just magic.
It's so amazing. My kid had a torn ACL, and then like a month later, he didn't. Yeah. He's like, he can do all kinds of things now that I can't do. And I've never had a torn ACL.
He just swallowed some string and a little bit of hot glue.
Whatever happened, it was just, it's amazing how fast kids recover.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's not fair, I tell you.
It is not.
And just to make things worse, your risk of falls increases.
Oh, yeah.
Due to changes in balance, vision, and muscle strength.
I mean, I have almost fallen more in the past 2 years than in my entire life combined.
Early retirement may not be the best thing for your health unless you have a second career.
Okay.
A study called the Longevity Project found that people who work hard at a job they enjoy live the longest.
I mean, this sounds like something that the Social Security Administration would put out. Like, no, don't retire at 65, 78. Keep going.
That, along with good friends and possibly a good marriage, could be the key to sticking around for a while.
Yeah, and lots and lots and lots of home automation projects.
Self-esteem soars as you age until you get to be around 60, and then it starts to take a dip because you have health issues and things that start affecting it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. Start trying to figure out what you want to do, what is your life purpose, what's your definition of success, all those things. I was fortunate enough to do all that earlier, so I don't think I'm going to hit the wall at 60, but we'll see.
Your self-esteem has already fallen?
Oh, it's already fucked. It's already gone.
It's gone?
Yeah. Trust me, zero of my friends want me to have more self-esteem than I currently have. If anything, they'd like me to probably take 20% off the top.
Baby boomers and older adults report less stress than their younger counterparts, according to the American Psychological Association's annual Stress in America report.
Now, I wonder if that's generational.
I don't know, but just knowing the fact that there's a Stress in America report makes me stressed. That's a little stressful.
I mean, look, I want to track everything. I just want to do it using like a little tiny IoT device.
Sure.
It's like stress over thread that I just pin on everyone's shirt. I just have a giant thread mesh network across the whole country. Manage your stress, man. It makes everything better.
Chronic stress accelerates aging by increasing inflammation and damaging DNA.
That sounds terrible.
Well, don't do that.
So like stress is basically right up there with the sun.
Pretty much. Also, practice punctuality.
Okay. Now I feel seen.
Which makes me say, all right, we have to get out of here. But quickly before we do, have you seen or read anything good this last week?
Oh, boy. Of course. As you know, I am from the great city of Detroit.
Yes.
Where we have had kind of a rough time over the last 60 years.
For sure. Although the last 10 years, I think, have been very good to Detroit.
Yes. And I haven't been back since like 2017, but it does seem like it's definitely poised, and I hope this continues.
On the upswing.
But from a, like in terms of what to cheer for, it's been ebbs and flows.
Oh,
and
sports teams.
Yeah. And well, just in general, but like all you got really is sports teams. Like you're not going to root for the new Ambassador Bridge. Like who gives a shit? Although that is pretty cool.
If you take it every day, you do.
If you're driving to Windsor every day, you got other problems. But Tunnel Barbecue is pretty good. But now I'm getting too deep into the Detroit business. In the 80s, the Tigers won a World Series, right? Kirk Gibson, big deal. 1984, Sparky Anderson, like good times.
Sure.
The Pistons had championships in like 89 and 90.
Yeah.
And then again later in the 2000s. My team, the Red Wings, were absolutely terrible when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So this is a true story. After Mike Ilitch of Little Caesars Pizza fame bought the team, they would literally give away a car to the fans that would show up for a home game.
You had to bribe them to come in.
How desperate they were to get people into the seats. The Wings ultimately got their shit together and went on to hold one of the longest playoff appearance streaks of any team in any league at 25 consecutive years, which I just think
so amazing.
It's just amazing. I can only find two teams that had longer streaks than that. But the one thing that you could count on in Detroit, for sure, year over year, with 100% certainty, was that the Lions would be
awful,
terrible, absolutely fucking terrible, like laughing stock bad.
Sure.
Literally for years, when people would ask me, "Hey, what football team do you root for?" I would say the same joke. I would say, "Man, I'm from Detroit. We haven't had a professional football team in 60 years."
Of course.
And they would laugh, and that was the joke, and we would move on and talk about something else. Up until this season, I've only owned one piece of Lions paraphernalia.
Sure.
It's a tribute to their perfect season of 2008.
Yeah, sure.
I distinctly remember when I ordered this, it was after their 16th loss.
0-16, yeah.
0-16. And I promptly ordered an official Lions t-shirt from the NFL store. Like, literally did this online with the last name Owen and the number 16.
Owen 16.
And amazingly, they made it and sent it to me. So I have a Lions t-shirt, an official Lions t-shirt that says Owen 16 on it.
Funny.
And I wear it every year at Thanksgiving, and I think it's hysterical. But now,
Yes.
holy shit, man, the Lions look amazing.
It's a different time.
Right? The NFL showcased the last game of the season as the Lions-Vikings game. This was Sunday Night Football this past Sunday.
Yeah.
It was in Detroit. I was planning on going to it, but got the damn influenza, so I stayed home to watch it. It's a team who's just got this never-ending string of injuries.
Yeah.
Their entire starting defense line was out at one point, it seems, and it does not seem to matter what happens. They've got guys playing with plates in their arms and carbon fiber casts on. Third-string dudes are rising to the occasion, and it's just been amazing to watch. They're the number one seed in the NFC, and I can say with certainty that this past Sunday, I clapped more for the Lions in that one game than I have in my entire life combined in totality.
Yay.
It's just been really fun to watch.
How fun.
Hopefully they make it to the Super Bowl. Hopefully they win the Super Bowl. I'm excited to go if they make it.
I love it.
And watch what happens. So anyway, that's been my, that was the thing I watched this week. How about you?
Shrinking Season 2 on Apple TV. Jason Segel plays a grieving therapist who decides to become drastically more involved in his patients' lives. With Harrison Ford, Wendy Malick, and a host of incredible talent, including Ted McGinley, who's ridiculously great in this.
Yeah.
And good news, let me just throw this in here. Apple has greenlit Season 3.
Sure. You want to take that one at a time?
Truly terrific writing. I don't know why they do one at a time. I don't know why they don't just say, after seeing Season 1, how good Season 1 was.
Sure.
Guys, guess what? We're going to renew you for 2 through 5.
Yeah.
Or 2 through whatever, 2 through 6.
And the music's great too. They do a great job with the music on that show as well.
The music's fantastic. I've not seen Bad Monkey, but I kind of want to try it
Bad
now.
Monkey's great as well.
That's the other one. Ted Lasso,
Yeah.
Bad Monkey, and Shrinking are all put out by the same person, Bill Lawrence.
Bill Lawrence.
Shrinking Season 2 on Apple TV Plus now.
I really need to watch that whole series, man. I'm so far behind.
That is the episode.
Thank you for joining us for all this nonsense. It's really terrible podcasts from The Awful Company. Visit us on the web at nonsense.productions. I'm CJ Little.
I'm Jeff Parker.
If you like this program, please follow, download, subscribe, and like at Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, YouTube, Amazon Music, AntennaPod, iHeartRadio, Spotify, still my personal favorite, Overcast, or wherever you may get your podcasts from.
Nonsense Studios are automated by Home Assistant, open source home automation that puts local control and privacy first and is powered by a worldwide community of tinkerers and DIY enthusiasts. Forget Alexa, HomeKit, SmartThings, and Google Assistant. Those are children's toys compared to Home Assistant.
This is 100% true. It also reminds me of a question that I saw recently where someone asked, is there a language that has the ease of Python but the power of C and C++? To which some smartass that wasn't me responded with, yeah, it's called Python. I thought it was really funny.
A scripting language, yes, of course.
It's not scripting. How dare you?
It's a scripting language. Special thanks to our floor director, Joey Jewell.
Thank you, Joey. We'll be here every Thursday morning for more nonsense. Please join us.
CJ, happy birthday.
Thanks, man. As soon as I'm done crying, I'll go ahead and blow out the candles.
Yeah, wow. No kidding.